Okay, seems like we're alive. Hopefully everything is smooth, and if somebody happens to stick around for a moment, you could confirm if the audio levels are fine and so on. Yeah, I just checked out all the other Europa Universalis 4 streamers, and everybody was playing at either, I guess speed 3 was the optimal choice, but even somebody went at speed 5 all the time. But this is kind of the slow gameplay, so be patient with me while we go through everything. So most likely our next target should be Mutapa, because we just had a battle with Ottomans. We took a good part of their coastline over. Well, we got into Europe almost. Does it classify as Europe? I think, yeah, this area here. And now we need to do a little bit of a lighter warfare stuff, so we can gather our forces up a bit before we face somebody a little bit bigger again. So let's just on pause and let's get this run going again. Okay, so we have converted some religion in some areas. Right now just putting together some armies to, or some additional armies to fight Mutapa. They do have a decent sized force. It will not be much of a match against us, but our troops are like all over the map, so we either get them back there. I think we should get some there anyway. Or we just build up more troops as we go. I guess let's make it like a mix of these two. So yeah, these two groups will go along as well. I intentionally don't put one on this forced march feature because otherwise they'll be just stomping on top of each other. I'll just wait until one of them goes far enough away so there's less attrition on the road. Now these guys will remain here. Actually, you should be merging back to your original group here, so... Okay, sure, we don't care about that event or that information. They want favors for soldiers. Still have allies. It's year 1751. Still have like 70 years to play or so. We did not claim the hegemony status, even though we could become the economic one. To be fair, we could even build up the naval force to take the other hegemon. Was it military? Okay, there was the naval one specifically. Now, this is getting built up. Maybe we can use some of our ships to speed up the transportation process. Okay, you guys, you're like a good candidate for getting... So we should have somebody clearing up the rebels in this area. Yeah, looks like it. But they're not assigned to their job, so they weren't doing anything actually. I just put the whole area for them to deal with. Actually, they're gonna be afraid, aren't they? Because there's like 14.7k troops here only. And it's like 15k at max. Is there anybody out there? Okay, I see these guys. Maybe you will go take care of them. Rebels down there. You shall also join the war against Mutapa. By the way, let me just check their alliances, but I don't think it's only going to be Mutapa actually. So Congo as well, but that's just like, you know, they now have only like 4 territories remaining. Okay, so there's some stuff going on in Australia, which we happen to have some troops here. I didn't even remember they were there. Now we have troops all over the world actually. But we were looking for our ships, right? So there should be transport ships enough of them. Well, not these guys, but you. So we'll just take the transports to make this process a little bit faster. We will assign them a leader. I'm not sure if it's gonna speed up the fleet itself, but we could take aboard. Well, first of all, these 41,000 troops over here. You go. Wait for your ride in Constantinople, was it? How is this area called? Yeah, Constantinople. And yes, the trading place. Okay, we are running into a lot of military power. And I don't think we can invest into technology, or it doesn't make any sense yet, because we're like 9 years ahead of time. So we'll just do some development of provinces. At this stage, I'm just going to check which ones are the cheapest. Spam them a little bit. Oh, that should do it for a while. Okay, let's unpause. Continue our journey towards the... Is it considered? I guess it's eastern part of Africa. We have these mercenaries here as well, but they're just for the rebel suppression. So, oh, also we don't have an advisor at the moment. So, anybody we could make good use of. So I'm thinking national unrest deduction, because they're also an accepted culture for us. So less issues with the advisors themselves. Let's also push them to 5 right away, because our monthly income is like 800 ducats last month, but so plenty to spend around. Now Portugal wants to trade stuff. No, thank you. We have almost assembled another army here. How is that going in Constantinople? So you guys just hop aboard and we'll take you straight to the southern parts of the Mutapa Empire. Well, it's not really an empire at this stage, is it? So the rebels have been taken care of. We lost the admiral that we just assigned to this navy. I'm not sure it's worth spending any diplo points at this point, because the admiral wasn't critical here anyway. Now you can see we control the whole coastline. Well, except for the top left part of Africa. And a little bit for Ottomans in the northern part of Africa. Okay. There's some separatists. Okay, so clearly there's some activity that I have missed while I was dealing with the Ottomans the last time. But we will allow these guys to also take care of the rebels around this part of the world. Everything is green, so it should be good. But if they happen to spread around and take over some areas to control, then we do have some troops protecting this from going on too long, at least. Okay, I will close some notifications because, yeah, our overextension is dangerously high. We know about that. The rebels will be spawning every now and then. That's fine. Enemies are sieging our provinces. We do have somebody that's going to be taking care of them soon. They're halfway there, almost. But now I see we already have 54,000 manpower, which means we could create another one of those armies for sieging, which only needs 41,000. So we'll make one more, and then we should be ready to just take over Mutapa without any issues. Okay, so there's another group that spawned here. Lovely. Let me actually just close the rebel factions away from the ledger on the right side because there's so many of them that they're kind of spamming at the moment. So rebel fractions. Earlier in the game it wasn't such a big problem, but now it is. Okay, you can see we're building some cores over here. Some great projects. Are there any great projects that we should finish maybe? Like what does this one give? Merchants +1. Nice to have, not critical. It would open up the view for the specific great project if we clicked on it. So this gives us governing capacity modifier. Decent. Actually, let's finish it up. We have the money to spare. Yeah, at this point there is no need for min-maxing actually, because we have plenty of money. We're not gonna go for the world conquest anyway. Just having some fun in whatever wars we can still get going within the remaining 70 years or so. This propagate religion stuff is a little bit annoying. I did not quite yet understand what this means, because I put it on and then a while later it says like, okay, it has no use anymore, and then we get it again, but is it for the same regions or not? Who knows? It's hard to follow all of this. Okay, so there is some rebel activity going on over there. We do have a group of mercenaries that perhaps we can move with our fleet towards the east so they can take care of them. So we lost another general. Sure, that's just a natural process at this point. Naval research, just ignore it. Okay, so we have another army here. These three are also arriving, so we're almost ready. Okay, we'll be fighting Mutapa first. Okay, what do you want? No, we don't want to lose our claim. Actually, do we care? We don't care. This is one of our allies, so we can just revoke the claim and have slightly better relationship. It can be useful in certain situations, like fighting the Ottomans. Okay, so you guys... Where's the slowpokes? Okay, here you are. I'm not sure I need this group, to be fair, but I will make them move faster. And if they get there by the end of the war, great. If not, then they just had a nice lovely stroll to the south. Okay, so who goes where exactly? Judging that they have around 145,000 troops. Congo has 15k, so that's nothing, not an issue for us. We'll just maybe go from north to south and have this group over here to the south, repelling them a little bit. But we should take positions all around Mutapa. Well, from the northern section. Did we send away one of our 40k troop group? No, okay, one is here. So you guys go to Lenja. Another group is gathering in Luangwa. Oh, these names are fun to pronounce. One of you will go to Lala. Then the next one, the mercenary group. You're not besieging much, but you go to Ngon. Yeah. And I believe there should be one more group here that's not been assigned a region to start from, so you go to Hangwa. Okay, so what are you offering us? 450 administrative power, you get an advisor. What's Tamil? Claim strength of higher. I mean, the other option seems tricky, so I will just pick the one that costs a little bit of admin points. Okay, So we probably lost our advisor as well. So national unrest is back. Now we should have a cheap advisor though. Which one is the cheap one? So we have 111,333 and 3 ones are 8.39 per month. So well, we'll do the national tax modifier. That should be the best one anyway. We'll push them up again to 5. Now I will take a moment to just review the buildings that we can build. Maybe we can pump up the ducats per month a little bit more even than we had. So everything above 10 probably is good to go. This should all add up nicely. Of course, they will probably not be paying themselves off by the end of the game because there's not that much of the game remaining, but again, not min-maxing. So we're halfway there with core construction. Would be nice to get the next set of lands ready for coring. Okay, I can see some activity going on over here. You guys will also clean up the place there. I'm just okay, yeah. And these how many of you are there? 4.4. Did you guys fight one of the rebel groups? You were not supposed to, but okay, up to you. Now I want to check other places where we have rebel issues. I can see that we still have a piece of land occupied by the rebels over there. Now, what about the rest of them? If we take a look at this, so Zulu separatists have something going on. Yao is probably handled already. Bahmani is being handled. Or you guys are also afraid to... Yeah, they're afraid to attack these guys. So I will just force them to go and attack. And the Zulu should be these ones. Yeah, okay. So all corners of the world covered for the time being. Now we can invest into some ideas, and this would actually complete the espionage ideas. So I don't think... Well, just for the sake of finishing it up, we can also check out what the policies are. Maybe there are better policies that we have in play at the moment, because for the administrative policies we have the Anti-Heresy Act giving us missionary strength and religious unity. Now if you take a look at religious unity, we kind of need it still a little bit. Then for the diplomatic policies, we have the commercial embassies, adding global trade power 10% of it to us, and diplomatic reputation +1. We could have diplomats, well, 1 extra diplomat from these 2 options, but not much building the spy networks besides for Ottomans or something like that. Actually, talking about that, let's send somebody to Spain, just in case we get the chance to fight with them. We want to have some lands that we can get for a little bit cheaper, and maybe also to France, because I believe those Ottomans, France and Spain were our rivals at that for the time being. Now please build spy network here as well. And we still have a few idle diplomats, so no issues there. Okay, a little bit of a round trip here and there, that's fine. So rebels are taken care of, we spent all the money. And we're almost ready to fight these guys here. This group is still missing a few troops. So if we count them, how much we have, like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 groups of 40k or so, so 280k troops. And actually, well, 320 if we count these ones over here. You guys will probably go fight Congo then. Yeah, go to this Bafuriro area. Now, what is going on here? Both of you want to go to the same place? No, thank you. Please move back a bit. Okay, some notification. So, how do we do this? Let's just declare war. Let's use imperialism as the reason. And we will mark Congo as co-belligerent, so we can take their provinces for the same price. Or at least not for 2 times the price. None of our allies that have the option to choose will join us, but that's fine. So let's go. Our first war of the day should be an easy one though. Okay. Now about the fortresses. So these guys do need some leaders, and we have some available. Okay, nice. We might have to recruit some extra leaders in any case. So for example, you guys need somebody to lead here. A decent one. We're looking for more siege points though. And everybody else has somebody there. Now you have 3 siege, so you will be sieging Mutapa. You will back them up. Then which of you guys has better siege? Doesn't matter, they're both the same. You have 1 and you have 2 actually. So you will be sieging Lolo. With well, the mercenaries will come as a support, I guess. And you will be sieging Kalonga, and again you guys will go as support. And oh, this guy's still lagging behind because they're a bit slow. Now, lovely, these mercenaries have been taken care of. I mean, you guys can join the war if you can get here, but I don't believe you can. So. And I think this group should actually go support Lolo or the siege of Lolo. We have Ottoman rebels. Ooh. Do we have anyone that could respond to that? Yeah, seems like you guys have been reassigned again to the northern parts. So sorry, no wars in the southern parts of Africa for you. Now you guys just hop on board again. We will take you quickly towards. Oh, there will be a fight going on here, won't there? Okay, so the mercenaries will be supporting this group over here, but maybe, yeah, most likely these guys on board the ship will also be able to join, if anything. Yeah, let's unpause. So they're trying to go one way and another. The question is, are they gonna go to Kalonga now? For them it's definitely better to fight in the, well, on the area where their own fortress is, but we're just not gonna care too much about it. As long as like not all of the 145k troops that they have will come at us at the same time. So, okay, the mercenaries have been taken care of. Now, let's see some fights over here. When will this be happening? 22nd of August. Few days remaining. And you should also support these guys, just in case. No need to take any risks. It does take a long time to travel from one area to the other, so even if I sent them, they will be arriving on the 7th of September. Okay, now the siege from this group should go and fight in Mutapa for the fortress. You can see that we're actually losing quite a bunch at the moment. You might want to join the fight. How much? Well, you'll even get there earlier than the other guys who have been walking towards that area for like half a month already. So they gave up already. So, yeah, never mind, just go back. You guys, you were supposed to join in Lolo, giving the artillery support. So we have one siege ongoing. Okay, yes. That's fine. Walls have been breached in Lola already. Sure, let's send the money. Now we have 2 troops here. They both had siege 1, right? So what I will do, I will just take the one that was fighting, leave their siege over here. Which leaves very little infantry remaining, but you guys go back. Recoup your losses. We do have 53k manpower stashed away. That should be enough for you to recover. So all 3 sieges are now ongoing. These guys should also send their artillery to Lolo. Okay, so let's go here. Split up the unit. We'll also take control of... We'll take over control of all the surrounding areas over there. Where did Congo troops go? I guess they're just hiding a little bit, so... They don't have... Well, they do have actually a level 8 fortress, so you will be sieging that one. I'm hoping we can just grab all the land from both Congo and Mutapa with this war. So we can kind of go for Nkora next, and then we're done in this part of the Africa. Okay, yes, sure. Religious conversion successful. Now you mercenaries can take over this Lomvi. It's like a practice of pronunciations for words that, well, they're not proper words, just you can try to pronounce them, you know, pretending you're kind of native English speaker, like I'm doing here right now. Okay, so one siege is already over. That's great news. I think we'll go for Zimbabwe next. You guys will go over here. Zimbabwe is a little bit dangerous because they're having all their 144k troops over here. So what I'm thinking, I'm also gonna take the... Yeah, let's take the mercenaries closer as well, just in case they decide to fight us. In a previous war they did decide to do it, and it wasn't... I think the war had to be ended earlier than I wanted. Because I was just running low on manpower and everything. Didn't go according to the plan. So you guys instead will be taking care of Lomba. Now these sieges, this one is going nicely. Lolo. The Kalonga one is a bit slower. Now, do we have defensive edict here? Yes, we do. This is the only fortress protecting our, on the way to our capital, which is in Cape. So every time they take it over, they can kind of freely just grab all of this area without any fight from our side. Okay, so we lost the military leader, which is not relevant for this war. Now these two are going in the correct direction. Should probably enable this forced march once we get the next area. Okay, Siege of Lolo is done. You guys will go to the next one, which is Manika. And you can maybe take care of... Wait, just a second. So, I want both of you to be forced marching. And on the way to this Manika, you can maybe take care of this Mutapa troops over here. Okay, you guys are just sitting here. Can you go to one of these areas maybe? And where's our mercenary? Oh my god, they're going like the long way around. So there's 107k troops. Good, our fortress survived another day. Oh, another siege round. Perfect for us. You guys, why aren't you force marching? We need you there fast. Now you can see we can get rid of their troops. Did we zero them? Amazing. So they lost like 1/4 of their troops from here. Now everything seems to be going according to the plan. And we're sieging all the fortresses within the sword right after we get to Manika. Manieka? Tricky. These regions are tricky to pronounce. Okay. Now you guys can... No, you cannot go there, but just go a little bit more to the south. And the mercenaries cannot go to Bukhara because it's between the fortresses again. But they'll just be ready in case these guys decide to turn to the north and fight us. So please hold one more round if you can. No, Lower Limpopo has fallen. So the enemies have made their first advancement while almost losing their whole country. Okay, this is fine. Now you guys go to Sena because, yeah, I don't want you to circle around. So I would like to say that I can start looking towards the north. What Congo is doing, but for this fight we might need more troops. All of our troops actually. No, we will just gain some power. Okay, Ondo. Can you guys just take care of this group at least? I believe in you. Okay, these guys are standing still in one place. That's good. Okay, and we finished the siege of Kalonga just on time. Because there was this danger that... well, this... Actually it's just 48k troops, but I would still like to be cautious about our troop placement. Not to lose anything too much in this war. So our manpower is steadily around 30 to 40k. So the center of revolution has spread. The revolution is spreading within our provinces. That's... I should someday take some time to figure out how this works, this revolution part, because last game I played until the end, it was... I guess the revolution was in my country the whole way and it just keeps spawning rebels. But I know there are ways to counter it or get rid of it completely even. Okay, so you guys are going to Mandana. That works well for us. Since we don't have any fortresses following this, artillery will rejoin one of your infantry groups. So we have... Okay, so took over Lundu. And Ondo is taken over temporarily, I guess. I still see this icon, you know, armies are too afraid to engage, so I'm gonna force them to engage. There's nothing to be afraid, you're stronger than the rebels. Better equipped and stronger. Can we move our troops a bit closer though? Thinking like these 40k troops. You go like to the two closest regions, the 21k infantry will stay a little bit further from the front lines. And once we break through, either... these rebels just keep spawning. They're becoming a little bit annoying. So if we take a quick look at the situation here. We might also take the buildings away from the ledger. Yes, let's not show these. Just to clean up the overview. Yeah, this is much better. But we have 3 hostile sieges going on. One of them is, well, the enemies we're fighting, which is fine. These guys... Are you taking care... No, you're not taking care of the whole of Central Africa. Just take a moment to make this change. And you better not be afraid of them, okay? So we are wrapping up the coring of some provinces we took from the Ottomans. The problem is we are also coring these provinces here, and just wait a second, you guys. Stay here for a little bit. Gather your morale and troops. It was a big enough army from the Ottoman rebels up there not to risk it. It would take a long time for another group to get up there. My question would be, can we start taking Lower Limpopo back? Can you go here, please? Yes, you can. So we will reposition our troops a little bit. Rebels, or well, mercenaries will go over here to near the front lines. National institutions. As of late, more and more people are requesting representative national institutions. We will give them what they want at the cost of some monarch points. Okay, so we took Constantinople back, which means it's gonna start ticking again. Are you ready to take over the 50? Well, just move a bit further for the time being. Let's let them completely refresh their troops. Now you guys, let's remove the forced march and let's just send them away. Or on their way. Now you is requesting military access because they're at war with Russia, Ming and Dzungar. No, it's okay, just stay there in your own small circle. They can't really do, they're just waiting for the next war to be annexed by us. Okay, we won another battle, perfect. These guys were brave enough to face the enemies. The rebellion of whatever it was, looked like a religious rebellion. Now I see that these guys they'll be able to get away from us even though they came here after. Well, interesting stuff is going on. We don't really care that Mutapa is taking over some of the regions. We don't even need to really fight them, to be fair. Once we take over all of Congo and Mutapa, they should just give up relatively fast. Okay, Bruneian separatists. We don't have anyone over here, but the ships will solve this issue. Okay, now it's time to move in on the rebels near the Constantinople area. Sofala has been occupied by Kilwa. Sure. And we have one of the sieges. So Madanda has been occupied by Kilwa. Sure. Wait, where is this? Okay, that's the smaller battle. I'm curious what... Actually, let's just take a look. We have a moment to do this, right? So, how is this battle going? They're way outnumbering us, but just taking heavy losses because of the stats of the troops. Now, I will make these troops to just stay and watch around this area. I'm sure there will be more rebel spawns. Something like this should be your area of expertise or area of responsibility. Sure, everything is going on here. Now, Pukera, you guys go take it over. So, Upper Limpopo is fighting back against our enemies. That's a convenient time to spawn some rebels. Okay, so most of the regions got cored. Now, I will send more artillery to help out the siege over here. But ideally, we don't want to fight those guys. And I'm thinking that maybe We'll send one more group up north. Bruneian separatists will be taken care of relatively soon. Anything else going on here? No, I like the situation at the moment. We shouldn't have too much downtime for the coring. Also, we're running into the monarch points cap, which is at 112.48. Ideally, we would be able to force a truce by the time, or earlier. We don't want to cap out on the administrative monarch points. Or we can, of course, spend some. Yeah, let's take a look. So, do we want to? Yeah, let's make them into states. Let's also check our governance cap. We have enough space to make states around here, because this will be relatively important area when we're gonna fight Ottomans again. So we'll just state everything that we took from them. And build some fortresses here and there, I guess. And make everything into a core. And our administrative points situation has been resolved. I don't think we'll run into the cap before we're done with Congo. Okay, so Borgo is having some separatism. It's really bad around here. Like, I could use like a bigger group to take care of the rebels around this area. They're spawning like crazy. Okay, that'll do for now. We'll improve the area if needed later on. So you guys, one siege cycle is 29 days. This should be the last one, right? So 64%. After this one is done, we should take care of the troops and then go for the capital. Also, we can spawn off some troops to just take care of the other two areas around here. Come on. What is this place called? Bushubi? Bashabi? Yeah, Congo comprises right now of Bashabi, Nduga, Nkora and Karagwe. Actually, Nkora is the country here, so they lost their capital to Congo at some point in the timeline. On the timeline. Yeah. We're still ahead of time for all the technologies, so spending the points there would be useless. Now we lost our general here, but it's okay. Against rebels it should be fine anyway. Now, you guys, taking care of the rebels. We are about to see if we will be able to siege the fortress of Congo in one more day remaining. Now they just don't want to give up. So what's probably gonna happen is we're gonna add the siege from this group here as well, which should push this chances up to 70-something%. It's just a little bit unfortunate that the last cycle of siege didn't do the work, because just spending some extra time here that we could use somewhere else. Now you're almost there in Coma. Then we'll split out the artillery. Just give me a moment. We will also make you forced march, and you guys can... you can already go towards the capital. Help out this Libertatia guys. Yeah, rebels are getting kicked out of everywhere. Oh well, at least out of all the places where I see them. Okay, the siege is over. You guys will then go join your troops in the capital, And we will take you guys to take care of the Congo troops. And then we'll send the artillery to the capital as well, and the infantry will take over both the Karagwe and Nkora areas. Hopefully we'll stack wipe them, so they won't cause us any issues. Okay, you guys, you're just like busy, you have to hop from one island to the other, so please move back. This looks good. You guys can do whatever down there in the south, I don't care. It's just like, you lost your whole country while you were just taking over one fortress, you know. Okay, so please stack wipe them, so I don't have to follow them. Actually, probably they would end up here anyway, so stack wiping. Or no, it wouldn't be an issue. We got Lower Limpopo back, which means all these areas will be cleansed unless they have some enemies residing in them. Okay, now 35%. Just in case, artillery, please force march yourself into the capital. And we will split this group into half and just take over both of these areas over here. Tirno is back in our... Well, it's been cored now. Can also make it into a state. Make them every area around there a core. And now would be a great time to actually consider building some fortresses over here. So we already have... What do we have here? Actually, this area isn't done yet, is it? Yeah. We could use a fortress. Ooh, there's no slots over here. We could expand administration here though. Anyway, this area seems... Sorry, Mission Harris cannot be here for the time being. I need to build a fortress here just in case. And maybe a few along the coastlines over here. So whenever we fight Ottomans again, it's not gonna be, they're just gonna be flying past our areas here. So just like build some here and there, just to make advancing for the Ottomans more trickier in the future. And any other good slots? So this is still being cored. Yeah, this should also be a fortress. Doubling up. And yeah, sorry, no time for faith right now, but we do need some to spend some points here to get an extra building slot. Fine. Okay, so some extra defenses over there. The next time we can fight Ottomans will be... Where's the list? So truce will expire with Ottomans in 66. We still have 13 years to go. If we take a look at how they've been recovering from our last war though, so they have like 250,000 troops right now. That's very low. If we check ourselves, we have 741k. But they still have 13 years to recover from that. Ways to go, so to speak. I do want to reassemble my troops if possible, so you have an extra artillery group waiting here. You guys go join this infantry, and you guys go join this infantry group. So more or less everybody should be back to their original groups. Now the siege of the capital is going nicely. Fingers crossed that this will be the key siege cycle. They call it siege phases. Never thought about what the terminology would be. Okay. So we're getting cores here and there. So we still have 3 cores remaining. If you look at our extension, these 3 are actually a really big part of our remaining core extension. Well, actually they make the number go big because Constantinople itself is 16.8%, for example. So it's good that we had some extra time to fight here. Otherwise we would have had to wait for the core constructions to be completed most likely, and only then we would have been able to do anything else. Okay, so battle of da. Now I do want to see how much overextension we'll be getting if we do core or grab everything from them. You see the numbers are going up really fast. So it might be that we're not even gonna be getting all of this stuff. Yeah, so I will grab the ones that were our permanent claims. Actually, let's clear the offer. Sure. Everything that has our flag on it goes first. What's going on with the UI here? Just give me a second, I will do this again. So the siege has ended. Yeah, the rebels are gone. Everything is taken over. But now let's again try to sue for peace. Now I should be able to... Do I have an option to sort by if I have a core or not? Sort by giver, overextension, war score, diplomatic power cost. So there is no such option, but I just will manually click all these areas that are under our flag, so to speak. It's like, this is really weird. Some of them are just pre-selected. Okay, so I see all of these areas covered. And now we can just take a pick which ones we want. I'm thinking ideally we just want to take as much of Mutapa. Oh. Actually this is a little bit of an issue because we're already at 100 and 100.8 overextension. So we might lose this one, for example. Yeah. Probably this will be the setup, but we still have to wait for these two cores to be done just to prevent going overboard with our extension. So sure, let's go for God's work. So we have everything under our control. I will send the siege back to this group here. You should reunite. Why are you two guys like separated? You should be in the same group. So just checking again this offer, we get half of Mutapa and a little piece of Congo. So we'll have to come back for another war later in the future. Okay, the siege of Cape. Oh, we lost our capital for a little bit. That's fine. They can enjoy having it for a little bit. Now these cores will be done by the 3rd of June, 54, April, May, June. So just less than 2 months remaining. Okay, there's some drama going on in the court. I think we will just lose 10 prestige. What's going on here? Okay, you keep... It doesn't change the score though, like them taking over some areas that from us. I wonder if they still control this fortress. Would it change anything? Just our country is so huge, I think. It's like marginal gains for them. You guys can stay together. You can also reunite. Also thinking a little bit like about our next war, because we probably don't want to fight Spain or anything like that. But we have been eyeing Ayutthaya for a little while, especially since we have time to basically fight them a little bit. So we might take like 200,000 troops from here with the ship and move them to Ayutthaya and start the war just a little bit after we're done with this one. All provinces have been converted. Mutapa is making some gains, as you can see. And we're just waiting for the course to be done, which is in a few days. Mutapa is already offering some compromises. And yeah, we're still gonna be declining this stuff. Okay, are both of the cores done? So we should now... Well, we will state these areas as well. We have some admin points to spare. Now, if we take a look at... Yeah, just check the overextension. So it's at 0, which means we can offer a piece. Now we can see it's 97.2%, which is well below the 100 barrier that we are looking for. Yeah, unfortunately we cannot grab more than that. I'm just checking our absolutism for a second, so it's 115. That's all that we can grab for the time being, but it's fine. We take over half of Mutapa and a piece of Congo. And we are suffering a little bit of aggressive expansion. Yeah, with like some countries willing to join a coalition against us, but even if they all join together, that's so little. Okay, let's send the demand, and we are victorious. Kilwa and Mutapa, an imperialist war. So we did lose a little bit more troops, but we had a lot of fortresses to siege down, so that is something to keep in mind. And we also completed the mission, so it's been waiting here for a while. It was about controlling some of the provinces that were our permanent cores. We will be able to gain a conquistador with 50 traditions. So the time of conquistadors is quite over, so we're quite late with our mission here. Now the next one is that we have discovered Cape, that's become our capital a long while ago, and we will get some development in Cape. And for 50 years we would have gotten +1 colonist and global settler increase by 25. So yeah, we're not colonizing basically a few years already, so it doesn't do anything. And we have already connected Cape to our capital, which is actually our capital at the moment. And we will start construction of the trade depot for nothing and for half the build time. Kilwa also gains permanent claim on every province with the center of trade in the Congo and Central African region. Yeah. We didn't quite play by the book. Seems like there's some good bonuses that we missed out on. Gain 4 years worth of trade income. Our trade income is like 882, so it's gonna be massive. Maybe, yeah, I was thinking maybe we wait a month so that our trade income is back to normal. And what did we have to actually do? So we have 7 provinces that we were supposed to hold on to. Okay, so that completes the last mission in the tree. That also means our mission tree is fully completed. There's nothing left for Kilwa. I didn't get a notification for any achievements, so I guess there wasn't any. Okay, we have some exiled armies. That's fine. We need to set course on the next region we want to go to, which is going to be the Ayutthaya. How do you pronounce it? Ayutthaya. Okay, Ayutthaya. You guys will come over here and grab like... Well, you can grab 5 groups over here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All of you will go on board, and we'll see you on the other side of the world, basically. We could also fight against Nkora, but there's no point right now because coring these provinces. Actually, did we start coring these provinces? No, we didn't, and there's already something going on in Zimbabwe. They're trying to convert everybody over there. So please do core them. You can also see we're a little bit over our governing capacity now. In order to fix this, let's build some... Ooh, these are big ones. Let's build some courthouses or town halls. We have the money to do this. We could also consider... We have 52k money, wow. We could also consider building some state houses. Why not? We have all the capital that we would like to have. And one more option to get more of the governing capacity is just to expand our administration. Yeah, so that should take care of this issue. There's not a huge margin, but at least it's not over the max anymore. There's some trade centers we can upgrade. Sure. We have a bunch. Where is this? Wait, what do you want me to click here? Actually, I guess the image was there. There's so many buildings in this area that I couldn't see them well enough. Now you can see some land. No point in doing that. We're already at 99%. Sure, let's propagate religion over here. Can we build furnaces somewhere? No, we cannot. And one thing I'm curious about, was the next institution discovered? It's not been discovered yet. Surprising, so could have been discovered like for 4 years already. It's usually doesn't take this much time, unless it's me who's trying to get the highest value trade node in the world, and it will definitely be institution will be discovered when I don't have it the highest level or highest value one. Okay, you two will remain here. Now let's set sail towards the other side of the world for the next war effort. Who are you guys allied with? So you're allied with a relatively small countries, so Taiviet is here and Mongmao is the small one here. You have some tributary states and you are guaranteeing the independence of Bengal and Jaunpur. Seems very doable if you ask me. While this operation is ongoing here, we have enough manpower to actually put together another group for sieging. We also have army force limit enough of this for doing it, so yeah, just putting together more troops so we can be more flexible with our plans going forward. So separatists have risen around here and they will be taken care of. Sweet. Our royal marriage with Delhi has ended. We do not want to invest in military technology right now. And we have all the troops here that we need to onboard. So you guys will be taking a trip here. So we have some troops positioned already on the southern side. I guess we'll put them down in Savoy and we'll spread them out from there. How quickly is this coring going? So already 5% done. It's just really fast actually. You guys will need some new leaders. We have some space remaining. Oh, we also have a conquistador with decent stats, but we'll still use the generals for this. Oh, nice for siege. Not that often we see these numbers for siege. I mean, theoretically we could already start the war, but we'll just wait for this group to come closer, because otherwise they'll just be picking up these guys one by one. So what's your troop count? 155k. So this is very similar to what we just had with Mutapa. And Taiviet has 71k. And Mong Mao shouldn't have too many. 8k. Okay, so they don't matter, but 200 something thousand troops they have. And also some reserves that they'll be using up really fast once the war starts, specifically, well, basically doubling their troop count. While we are traveling over there, I remember we had something going on in Australia. So you guys, maybe you can also make your way towards the southern coast over here. So we can just be on the safe side when it comes to the war that's waiting for us. So Delhi is looking for another royal marriage. Sure, let's go for it. I think we'll do this war as well, and then we can kind of call it a successful day in the Europa Universalis world. Okay, I'm just double checking these guys are on the road. Like halfway there. They don't have a leader. Just grab this one. I don't want them to suffer too much attrition while on the ocean. But they're also moving quite fast, so that's nice. G-Man separatists. Oh, we have a bunch of troops that are willing to babysit rebels around here. Well, what's interesting about these rebels is that they're in the green area. Why are they spawning in the green area? Isn't it supposed to be calm there? Look at Mutapa, it's so small now. Well, Congo was small already. Oh. Okay, so we have an opportunity to join Transoxiana in the war against Russia. This is a war that they started. Russia is allied with Jangar. We would join as a regular ally, and so on and so on. So if we take a look at Russian troops here, they have 101. And what about Transoxiana? So they have more than Russia. So I mean, we can accept just we'll be kind of passive participants there. Sure. And we do have some lands we can take over just to support them a little bit. What about these guys here? So they're just on the way down there. This doesn't change our plans for the other war though. We just get an extra war that we were not planning to be participating in, but it just happens sometimes like that. When you have allies or you're the defender of faith. Okay, something is religion something hocus pocus doing there. Now our troops should be arriving shortly, and actually they're here. So we'll spread them out a little bit, and we'll go from the south to north when we conquer this area. It looks like a big country, but actually it isn't that big. It just seems like it. Okay, you guys will spread out evenly here. I'll give you some time to recover. And then we'll get the war going. In the meantime, in the war against Russia, I will take you guys over to the other side here. Now, in terms of navy, don't think these guys, they have 41 ships. David has how many ships? So 59. So they're still a little bit scary when it comes to ships. So I do want to check that nothing is outside the ports. That shouldn't be there. Looks good. And these guys will just... Well, once they take the 30k over to the other side of the Java Sea here, we can start the war. It will not be a naval battle anyway, or naval war, because I just don't need to fight them on the sea much. They do have some fortresses here, so they would be taken down much faster, but again, it's fine either way. Our manpower is a little bit low. We discovered an agent. So we can maybe do some fabrication of the claims. Yeah, let's do the biggest number here. And can we fabricate some claims here as well? I think we just need a little bit more. A little bit more of the spy network around here. Okay, so rebels are being taken care of. You guys, you're a bit slow. Now you can see this impressive army. I'm sure they have no clue what's about to happen, right? In the meantime, these guys, they're mercenaries. You will be autonomously sieging the whole area here. And that's all we can do, right? Because the rest of the enemies are like far in the north. Too far for you guys at least. Okay, and going from here, I think it's time to declare war. Let's just double check everything is as we expected. So actually we could get Delhi and Transoxiana to join us, and I think we'll do it. I'm not sure about these guys. They should focus on their war to the north. So we will do imperialism, and we will include Delhi in our war, and you guys... I don't really need you to be considered co-belligerent, because we have enough land to conquer here anyway. So it seems like we're facing around 220k troops, 210k troops, which is fine. And I think we're ready to go, right? Yeah, let's do this. Just double checking everything. Okay, now the war has started. I do not want to call more allies into the war. Let's start spreading out the troops. So you will siege this place. You will, to some extent, send your artillery to reinforce. Also just force march. No need to delay stuff here. You will support them. I will be on the safe side, so there will be, 120k troops near each fortress. Because I know they like to kind of snipe my troops from wherever they can. So you will be the next siege group. Ideally I would check the... Okay, actually you guys will be the next siege group. You will be supporting them, so your artillery will go also here. I will not make you force march. You guys take over Lavo, and you will be protecting their behind, so to speak. So that takes care of 2 fortresses. Do we want to go for the 3rd one? I don't think we really... Oh, there is this one here that we can consider, and I think it is okay. So you have 4 siege, perfect. You will have to force march yourself over here initially. And last group is almost put together here. I'll wait for the last troop to arrive here, which is in 1 day. Okay, and you also need a general, don't you? You can take the conquistador, it's fine. And you will force march yourself to this fortress as well, and one of you will give your artillery to help out with the siege. This means we are taking down 3 fortresses at the same time. 1, 2, 3. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, they've expanded to the east. I didn't notice that. I think they weren't that far to the east before, during our last war. Okay, so all the sieges are active already. You guys... Well, since you get here first, you will borrow your artillery to these guys over here. Force march, please. And you can just take over this area as well, while you're already here, right? So the ships are doing some things. I don't think it's anything important for us. Remember, there's also 141k troop coming from the south, from Australia. And also Delhi should help us out somewhere along the lines. They have like 120k troops as well. I closed that notification without checking out what it was about. So just for your information, I don't know what it said. Okay, there is a supply shortage going on here. I like the number, so it's has 7 siege bonus because we're a little bit low on manpower, and it will be a little bit low for this whole war, I guess, because we're doing 3 sieges at the same time, so the attrition is nasty. Now you guys can go here to just take over this area as well while we're waiting. And there's this interesting area here. You can see like mountains or something there where we cannot pass. So this also gives them some strategic thoughts that maybe, like once we're done with the siege of Campompostons, Jesus Christ, these names, then we will move these guys to the east, start taking down the forts in a row here. In the meantime, this group will go again to the east, and this one will proceed through center to the west and north. That's going to be our plan. We can invest in military technology. We are 5 years ahead. It's okay to be a little bit ahead in military technology. I'm just not sure if 5 years is... Like, the innovativeness is usually not worth it, I read, and we're almost maxed out anyway, so we don't care about this one. I'll also close the banner so I don't check it all the time what's going on. Why is it flashing red? I will, yeah, let the sieges go on, but we can also check that no rebels are trying to take over our country. There's nothing going on here. There's like 3 groups that are at 80% at the moment. Not even 90. That's nice. What is going on in Delhi? They just had like 120k troops. Did they lose one of the groups or something? I'm not sure. Actually, you can see them going here, so maybe they're just ramping up their army for this war. You guys probably should also take care of these areas over here, even though we'll go to the east anyway, but when we do it, we still have to kind of claim all the land here, so the enemies do not build any additional troops from here. And just start running around behind our front lines. Like, do we know where the enemies are positioned? So, okay, let's just check the areas here. So this is not stated yet, and this is also not stated. I'm hoping Delhi will kind of take care of these guys. Another option would be to state them, but I think we were near our government cap. We're actually over still. Is there anything else we can do about it? I will build some more state houses because we have a lot of money. Like, this -1 is of course ridiculous, but yeah, let's not be that aggressive either, because we could use some extra money from here, for example. Let's also check the production. Like this, everything that's over 15 or so is good for us. And also check out the trade building, so just make sure everything is sorted by how much value it gives us. What about taxation? Just a few buildings worth it. And manpower, lovely. And we can just spend the rest of the money on manpower, that's fine. Manpower is actually our main resource that we're lacking these days anyway. So the coring is going 1/3 there, so definitely faster than our conquests. Just because, you know, taking down these fortresses is a slow process compared to everything else going on in the system. Okay, -7% here, -14. Oh, +14. You guys are really fast. Because you have +4 from the leader, don't you? This bonus is really nice. I believe another group is coming from down here. Some reinforcements, which is gonna be lovely. The siege of Bone, eh? So these guys are also making sure that the other war is... We're putting some effort in, okay? They can't complain that nothing is happening. Is Delhi doing anything? Okay, we lost one area here, but it's not even a fortress. Whatever. Delhi is going somewhere and they're claiming some land already. Oh, nice. You guys will also take care of Angkor. And we can already start rolling to maybe get one of these fortresses down. Oh, lovely, we got lucky. With 14% chance there. So you guys go to the eastern part as we discussed. And from here... Okay, you will take over Rong Debi. These names. And after that you'll go for Fangrang. I will try to pronounce them regardless, it's kind of funny to try to do it. What are you guys doing here? Just chilling? Is this... Okay, this is fortress level 1. And just go a bit closer, you don't have to be that far away from the war itself, you know? Okay, Fangrang, here we go. And we're about to take over Angkor, after which we can take our time with Privia. And what else? We go occupy this one. So Privia. Is it like French? Another siege is done. So we'll be moving you guys. You were supposed to go to the center first, right? And you will be taking over the capital, and you will be close by, I guess. I don't like that you're like in the front lines though, and you cannot move to the south. So I'll change plans. The full group will go to the east side, or west side of the fortress, just in case the enemies do decide to fight us. See, Delhi is also doing some heavy lifting here. Because it's always a choice between being a hegemon and just having allies. So far, I've always went for the hegemon status, but decided to try just having allies in this run because it makes wars a little bit easier to handle, especially if you have bigger allies. They take care of a big part of the conquest. Okay, so this fortress in Pechabun is the toughest one so far, but that's fine. Why is this one so low? So we have 6 bonus from artillery and 1 from the leader. Okay, we got Brazil, internal conflict, so on. So next is Croatia, that will be taken over. It's okay if this area goes slowly because we'll be just pushing along this coastline one fortress at a time, and the enemies can only come from one direction as well. Okay, give us a good roll this time, please. So this Pechabun can be taken. No. How long is the siege phase? 26 days, decent. Thanks to our siege ability, which is like 37%. So you guys also take over this area over here. Wait. Yeah, we can take it because this fortress is being sieged anyway, so it doesn't lose control automatically if we're not there with our troops. How are the fights going though? We're not taking part in the fights, but Delhi is, so I believe they can just take care of the enemies themselves. Okay, so Croatia has been taken over. Why not Changtang as well? I don't think there's a large concentration of enemy troops around anyway. 49%, not lucky. I don't know if we'll get to Korea this game, but those are tough to siege down. They really play high all the time. And every time I've gone for like the full run, it's been like I go for Korea too early, meaning that I'm lacking manpower to basically survive all those sieges properly. Plus there's not enough siege bonus against the fortresses, so it's just fighting literally a wall. This time I'll try a little bit of a different approach if we get to Korea. At least it wasn't slowing us down in the previous parts of the game. Okay, there's war. This is a tough one. Pechabon. 71%. Come on, you can do this. Our manpower is drastically in the minus. So minus 70k. Good to know. We do have an additional troop here that could do some heavy lifting. We do need one more general if we can afford one. Yes, we can. And 3 siege. Well, it didn't need siege, but we'll take it anyway. Okay, you guys conquered that part. You can also take care of this raid. So this is already at 0%. Yes, finally Pechabun has been conquered. I'm a little bit concerned about the manpower because you can see these troops are... Well, the attrition has eaten them down to 34k from like... It's 40 plus 20, isn't it? 60k troops originally. Okay, now we can push these guys forward to eastwards. Where are the enemies though? I don't see them anywhere. Some of them got routed. This gives us a good chance to stack wipe them maybe. If we want to, of course. I don't really want to spend manpower on that. It's just too sieging for the time being. So you can see... disease outbreak. Nasty. So you can see this siege is at 28%. The other ones, well, 0-ish. We'll be optimistic. Oh, there's some action going on here. And we need another leader to take care of the rebels. So you guys please just take care of any rebels that might spawn here. Because we do need to keep coring the areas, even though clearly the war will be taking longer than coring the previous set of provinces. Now, somebody is afraid to engage again against the enemies. Yeah, they will automatically fight one set. Huh, what's going on here? You guys, get the leader and fight these guys here. The other war just kind of spread onto our territory, which is unexpected. Okay, you guys took over this area. Just move a little bit more towards east. So Sithep is also ours. Just keep claiming provinces as we go. We can go here as well. Nice. So we still have the same 3 sieges going on at the moment. Best one is this minus 42%? Rough. Yeah, we're struggling with manpower right now. Can you guys go here? No, you cannot. 16.5 prestige? Was that for real? Oh, wow. Impressive. So these guys are fighting the rebels. So our spies informed that revolutionary Spain is considering attacking Ottoman. So there will be a big war, isn't there going to? Like if you take a look at where they are, they're second and third in the great power list. I mean, I don't mind them beating up Ottomans a little bit more, even though the last war against Ottomans was easy. for us because they had some sort of a disadvantage regarding the defensiveness. The defensiveness was like literally minus 30%. So we just had siege phases like 7 days long. We've never seen this before. You guys can go over here. So attrition is so bad that one of the sieges had stopped advancing. I'm just gonna throw in more troops over here. Too bad. Probably I could just change the siege layout a little bit. Oh, you guys are not going anywhere. Yeah, I could change the composition of sieging troops a little bit to have less infantry there, because you just need like artillery anyway. But it's a hassle. I'm just used to kind of sending in one full group and the artillery from the other group. So just having it a little bit simpler. Okay, you guys go siege this area here. Glad to see this one being a little bit positive. It was 0 before for a while, wasn't it? This siege is at plus 14. What about the enemies? They're not really sieging anything, they're just getting kicked. Wait, okay, this is an interesting area to have rebels in. Where were you? You guys are here? I mean, I guess I can send these mercenaries to fight you. Some sort of a ship group will come after you and help you out to get to the island. It's good to have a little bit of troops all around the world for these kinds of instances. So we do have an ability to go for some great projects. Okay, we get some state loyalty from here. What does this one give? Yearly legitimacy. Reform progress growth is nice. Oh, this one hasn't been built at all, but at maximum it gives monarch lifespan and so on. Okay. Yeah, we spent all our money, just like that. 3 great projects. What is our monthly income right now? So it's around 900 plus, and if we check out the economy income comparison, we should be ahead of the second one by a lot. So Great Britain is actually the second one. In terms of great powers, they're 4th, near the top. So okay, so we'll see how are these sieges going. This one will be done relatively soon, and this one as well. The one going on in Sekong is not progressing so nicely because it's just the attrition is eating into our troops a lot. I don't want to go down to 2 sieges either, because we can just use some of our manpower here from the additional troops that we have around. Because it would just slow us down in this war, and then we would not be able to core as much as we want to. Because we're not going for world conquest, so to speak, but we would still like to go for as much land grab as possible. One day I would like to go for world conquest, but I don't know all the ticks and trips that are needed in order to do that. Okay, so let's unpause again. The siege is at 42% chance of succeeding next time. Amazing. And 49 here. So 2 of the sieges are almost done. I mean, they can be done at any siege phase going forward. Delhi is keeping the enemy troops under control. A nice ally for this war. They don't care about the land themselves. Okay, what do we have here? Anatomical theater. We can gain some innovativeness, sure, for some unrest and penalties that we are not bothered by. So Ottomans has been discovered, sure. Actually, we can maybe fabricate claims on some areas. So Kong would be one of them. from France, and we also have quite decent spy network against Spain. The biggest number wins here. We can actually do 2, so the second biggest one wins as well. Just keep building spy networks for the great powers. If somebody drags us into a war, we could maybe just get some free provinces that way. Okay, so we have won the siege. Brilliant. And our plan was to move actually this group to the northwest. If we take a look at the areas over here. Okay, you guys are already conquering this part here. You will go over here, you will go over here. Okay, that should do it. Now this fortress over here is against the sea as well, so it will have the negative bonus from not being sieged. Like, we have a decent ship setup here, to be fair. So if we do recruit a leader here, maybe we can take over the seaside as well, or at least make them afraid of us enough not to bother fighting. At least let's do some scouting in terms of what their naval capabilities are. Okay, Nguyen is done as well, and we'll proceed to the next one. Just take over all the areas over here. So both wars are going nicely. One of them we are not much participating in. Now we occupy this area over here and this one. Yeah, you guys should also take care of Savan, whatever it was called. And we will be pushing north a little bit with this group. So how much? We're in 87,000 deficit when it comes to manpower. It takes us like a year to recover from this. A little bit more even. Okay, so it seems like they're not fighting that eagerly with their navy. And if we take a look at composition, so they have 4 big ships. Okay, I cannot blame them for not trying to fight because we're slightly outnumbering at least. We have 21 big ships and 40 of the ones that are good for shallow waters. And we are finishing up coring already, so sieging is tough. Can we state these areas we're like oh, we have some government capacity, perfect. So let's make these areas into states. Can we make them into anything else? Nope. So they have to be states because they're on our home continent, so to speak. Yeah, that'll do. Also promote religion or propagate religion. Okay, you guys are just doing your thing here, I see. No, we will not go for that that area here because the fortress would give the control back automatically to the enemies once we leave that area. So just attrition and time spent not efficiently here. Okay. We do have a free merchant that we can take advantage of, so let's see where we don't have a merchant yet. Sort by our current trade power, please. This is total. Wait, where's our... Okay. So this is the view we want to see. Cape of Good Hope is here. And the next one we don't have a merchant in is the Great Lakes. Sure, go transfer trade power from there. So do we have the... Yeah, we do have this fortress under a blockade, so no negative bonus from there. Military access from Korea because they're also fighting Russia and Zangar. I'm not interested in helping them out, to be fair. So, is there anything else left to core? Once we're done coring Tete as well, we'll just take a look at how much land we could grab from Ayutthaya, and if we would be hitting this over expansion 100% or not. Can do base production, sweet. These guys have nothing to do here. We're at -7% with these two sieges. The third one is far away. I mean, we could order a barrage because we do have a lot of military points available. Not in Russia at the moment, so let's see how far our negative manpower goes. They actually have some troops running around here, but I don't think they're going to be attacking us anytime soon. So sure, some conversions happened. This area is also under the control of this fortress in Mongmao, right? Okay. Anyway, Delhi is taking care of their troops. The power struggle of the Ottoman Empire. Now I'm curious about this one. So they will lose 30 legitimacy. They will also lose 20 prestige. They're unlocking some coups, lots of disasters, and any of the disasters can happen at the same time. They're also obtaining new missions that are required to end disaster. So Ottomans are going to have tough times ahead of them. Too bad for them. More land for us though. But I thought they were already having tough times the last time we visited them and took over some provinces, but seems like they weren't quite there yet. Maybe they were just on a decline. Okay, now I'm keeping all the other troops still here just because I want incoming manpower. Oh, just lost 4k there because of this disease outbreak. Yeah, I want any additional manpower that's coming in to go into the siege groups. So everybody else just stay on our, either the grounds we've taken over or that are ours, so not to have any attrition. Okay, so 0%, 14%. Is this gonna be the next one to fall? The siege phases are 29 days everywhere. Yeah, religious conversions, sweet. Again, we can propagate a religion in Zanzibar apparently. And how much left until our last core? So Tete is almost done. So I will take a quick look at how our progress is. So if we were to offer Ayutthaya peace right now, then let's pick it so that we take minimum over expansion. How much land group could we grab and just how much overextension it would cause us. So the number goes up quite slowly, which is in a way a good thing. The overexpansion is going up much faster though. So 41, we're almost across our... So we still need to do some conquering, but already we could take like this area of Ayutthaya. We're not done yet. It's worth waiting a little bit longer because the wars also take time to make progress in. And if we conquer these 3 fortresses, for example, probably gonna get like plus into 50% war score or so. You can see one of them is done already. You guys keep moving forward to the north, and the accompanying guys will just keep taking territory around. Like this, I guess, yeah. Next fortress to fall should be this one here. Xekong. They realized a little bit too late that they're on our way to the fortress. Too bad, stack wiped. 6k artillery, nice find. Maybe Delhi is also helping us siege a little bit now that... How is the situation with enemy troops? So I still see like 150, 60, 170k troops remaining. They're just hiding somewhere. Those are like lovely round numbers, but I guess they recovered and just are afraid to advance towards us. So 28% here. Oh, this one is rough. The ones near the sea are tough. But we did breach the walls as we speak, so minus 14%. And now we are also sieging Seine V. So there's 35, okay, there's like 35k troops over here. They're just clearing up the area that Delhi got for us, which is just wasting their time. They could be using this time for something else. Okay, fingers crossed for this one, 28%. We have 4 days remaining. 3, 2, 1, go. No, food shortage. Food shortage increases our chances, at least there is no disease outbreak. You guys can also take over this area over here. And we cannot move further than that. See, Bengal is having a lonely island over here in the middle. Huh, would be interesting. Like, Bengal would be an easy win unless they have some weird allies like the Ottomans, Chagatai, Delhi and Gujarat. And Ayutthaya is actually guaranteeing. So Delhi will not be the next one, but for example Malacca is also available here. Just as a, you know, appetizer after this war. Like, towards the north we have allies like Delhi and Transoxiana. Ottomans is having a cooldown in terms of the next war. Then to the west we can go for the French African region. And other than that, it's mostly about conquering the eastern part of Eurasia. Okay, military leader has left us. This is not a problem. We don't need that leader at the moment. I see Mong Mao is also getting raided at the moment. Sweet. So minus 21% here. What is their troop composition? So they do have a decent number of artillery, but I guess it's just the siege progress is rough due to the fortress size. Okay, Ottomans. Wait, did Ottomans discover us or we discovered Ottomans by? Either way, somebody lost spy network size thanks to this. Walls have been breached. So all 3 sieges are 0 or more. Good news. Then it means that every siege phase we will start having 3 chances of completing a siege. Besides that, we have 30k in the bank. We're making over 1,000 ducats. Oh, we're actually making much more, but 1,000 positive. Now, this one. This is the time, right? So, let's count it down the days again. 3, 2, 1, and we will get this siege done, right? No. Defenders desert. And it stays at like 50-50 chance. But, it's okay. We are patient. We have the time. We apparently won the siege of Palopo in the meantime. What is this fleet doing here? They were just like standing around. Do they even, like, they have some transport ships, but did they transport anything? I have no idea. I don't think we have claims on the Russian Moluccas area here if we just take a look at this diplomatic map. So nope, not gonna get anything from that war, which is fine. We're gonna be maximum overextension anyway from this war with Ayutthaya. I don't know if it's every game like this, but the green is like all around. Even Delhi is kind of green. Yeah, let's help the local traders. But like Ottomans, Kilwa, Delhi, this combination is really not good for differentiating colors. Okay, next opportunity coming up in a few days. Ah, nothing. The defenders desert, so we get the better chance for the next run. So Italy is asking for military access. I am have to going to politely decline. Just find other ways to get to Ottomans, please. And these guys are just taking over the whole Russian Malaccas because there's no other fortresses on their side from here. Now we're running into Monarch Point cap. And I think we'll spend a little bit in Constantinople because we don't have building space here, right? So if we expand administration a few times as I said, do we get any slots, building slots, or we're just maxed out like this? I guess we're just maxed out. Never mind. Well, at least we spent some administrative points. Okay, Xekong is done. Finally, it ate a lot of our troops. Now you guys will be going... Well, help out with Mongmao, won't you? And the support group will be nearby. So we're at 53% war score. Like maybe after these two fortresses we're kinda there where we wanna be in terms of war score, so we can push out the overextension to the max. Now in terms of the land we would like to grab, would be better if it was like isolating Ayutthaya from the rest of the world. So we could just take it piece by piece going forward, but we've been conquering on the other side, so probably won't gonna cost a lot of war score to take the areas that we don't control yet. Okay, so another one done. You guys will go to Yunnan. What a lovely name. And there are at least 3 regions we can take over around the fortresses here, so 3 troops, 3 regions. Now the next fortress should be this one, from Daiviet. Quinon. We want as much manpower as we can, so please invest a little bit of ducats into that one. We can also... Why did we get this notification? So this will cost so much money because it's abandoned ruins. I've never seen this before. Sure. Let's do it. We have the money. Okay, Kilwa occupied Kolaka. So we're taking over the Russian Moluccas over here as well. Some fight is going on here between the rebels and Ternate troops. Well, that's unfortunate. They cannot do anything. So the rebels will actually take over Ternate and rule over this area for a long time. Like, it's their only promise. What's gonna happen if the rebels take it over? Are they gonna change into another country or something like that? Okay, here we go. Another opportunity in 2 days, I believe. Yes, nice. So Quignon is ours, and we will proceed to the next part of the coastal raiding series. A lot of messages going on here. We also have some troops that we were kicking butts of. You two can take over these 2 areas over here. Okay, so 61%. Let's take a quick look at how much we can get for this war score. So let's take the peace option. If we keep putting in the lowest overextension values, we can grab all of these areas. Still they're okay with it. We're at 70 something %, but we can grab even more of Ayutthaya. So We can actually grab a lot. Like, if you look in terms of how big the area is, we can grab like half of it. This leads us to interesting situation though, because like let's say we don't grab this part over here, we leave this to Ayutthaya. Like all of the thing that like I'm thinking about circling this Ayutthaya. So if you make it so that all these areas will remain, and we just go along the coastline. Is it the coastline? Or like this. Yeah, so we also have like a way to move our troops across. So let's put it like this, right? So they're almost isolated. We don't even need these areas over here. Actually, we do need this piece because I don't think it's connected through this pass here. So we would have these areas, and then we could consider just adding in everything towards here. Yeah, so basically our neighbors would be Shu and Wu and Dali after that, and Ayutthaya would be kind of surrounded or encircled by us, so in the next war we could just grab the rest of the land from here. So for this we need only 68 war score, and we would be at 98.2% overextension. So we're almost there, just maybe 1 or 2 sieges more. Or just like time will also give us score, because I think we captured the capital. And also their like morale and everything is going down. So we're doing good from that perspective. Grab anything else from here? I don't think so. So this siege of Monk Mao is now positive. It's only up to +5 because it's the siege leader is still here, right? And they don't have this option to go over the siege limit by 3 that we have. Did we get it using the splendor or whatever points they are? What were these points called? They are splendor, right? Okay. Actually, I wanna see. So this siege, for example, has a lot of artillery, and we have +4 bonus, just because our artillery is just so much attrition that there's not much left. We do not want to own any. Well, we don't want to own anything to the royal family, so we'll just politely decline from any of those bonuses like tax and so on. Okay, we occupy these 2 regions, 64%. I will keep checking the peace offer. Actually, they're already like happy with it. So the question is, are we happy with it? We are able to pass through the middle of Ayutthaya. We are basically surrounding them from everywhere. There are like these 3 areas here that are not surrounded. But perhaps that's fine. So that's a decent sized chunk taken away from Ayutthaya, and we can almost take the rest of it with the next war. Yeah, they're nicely contained. I wish there wasn't like this piece here. Would be maybe a chance to sacrifice. No, these are like expensive areas, aren't they? Okay, so we'll keep it like this. Now I'm gonna double check the extension. It's at 0. So yeah, I guess we're ready to take the peace offer. Yeah, just double checking everything. So we will be grabbing a lot of the areas over here. How much aggressive expansion we'll be getting? So 0 to 73 with 120 countries. Yeah, I think we're good to go. So second Kilwa Ayutthaya Imperialist War is done. Lovely. We will also start coring all of these areas, and we're again over our governing capacity. Have to do something with it. Just build some town halls. Maybe some extra state houses since we have some money, but you can see it's 0 minus 0, so it's not much help anyway. Okay. I don't know what the next war is gonna be, but we will be drawing a line for the stream right here. So thank you everyone for watching, and everyone who might be watching this stream afterwards. We did some nice wars against Mutapa Congo in the first run, and also Ayutthaya. And we managed to grab some nice pieces of land from them. But that looks like Shan might be the next victim on our table. We have to check how the coring is so that we don't get stuck because they have some claims over here. So again, yeah, thank you for checking out the stream, and see you alright at the next one. Bye!